Good evening and welcome to the stream. Apple says, Chat, I need help. I'm about to fall asleep and the only thing that'll keep me awake is subscriptions to the Skysometric Twitch.tv channel. Please help. How you getting notified of those, Apple? You got like a sound alert thing set up on your computer specifically? Because I don't have one on the stream. Welcome to the stream. It's good to see you all. Sort of took a little bit of a break from streaming. I was doing the multiplayer stuff because the events were coming up, but I sort of took a break from the single-player stuff after Spirit Tracks just to let myself, like, decompress after everything, but also, Alright, chat, we need to talk. Something happened. Most of y'all know what happened already, and some of this is old news, but I want to log it all for posterity anyway. Here's what happened. The job offer I got last month disappeared because it was tied to a government proposal, and that government proposal was rejected. So the company that hired me couldn't hire me anymore. That project doesn't exist anymore. So the worst case scenario that nobody thought would happen came to pass. And I no longer have a job offer. And in the intervening time since then, I have not had a single interview. So this is all what's been weighing on my conscience quite a lot, is like, how do I justify streaming when it's not a job? How do I justify streaming right now when I could be putting out job applications? I could be putting out job applications right now, y'all. Y'all don't understand. I'm spending time and money to be here with you. No, don't listen to me. But there's this push and pull of, I want to do all of the things that I normally want to do, and I'm panicking too much to do them. So I kind of needed to settle down from my panic a little bit. So that's sort of why it took me a little while to come back to this, but I'm here. Frog says, I got a 5-watch streak and it wants me to celebrate. How does that work? Well, you just did it. You type in a chat message and boom, it has a funny banner on it. Congratulations on watching 5 streams in a row. Now, if only I could stream 5 times in a row. I mean, what? So that's sort of where I'm at with this, is that, like, how do I justify doing the creative work that I normally do when I'm under such intense pressure? It's been 6 months since I was laid off. I'm under such intense pressure to find a job. Something to replace my income stream. And the way I'm justifying it tonight is that I need a goddamn break. Cause ain't no way my brain can work for that long on that little. So we're here tonight to just have some fun. And I'm doing it playing a game that I've been looking forward to for ages. So, even better. It's not like I've been totally out of it since I got the news. I've been working on stuff behind the scenes. Y'all know I'm working on a new update to Red Trush that adds new levels, 3 mixes. Why is the Astral OST unofficial? Because Sega never released the Astral OST in any form. The best way to get it is actually off of the game disc, since this was a Sega Saturn game. And so the rip I have of it is just compiled unofficially. So, whatever. It's just listed that way in the metadata. Whatever. This is the actual music that plays in the stall, though, and it's a game that I think is absolutely gorgeous, and I want to pick it up someday. It's just really hard to find and get a hold of. A lot of our favorite games from that era kind of tend to be, don't they? A lot of them didn't really sell well, but became classics in post. I only know it through you. Yeah, exactly. Some of these things are not classics. Astral is not a very well-known game, but it is... I put it up there with Rystar as one of the more beautiful platformers that Sega has ever made. And one of these days I want to tear into it, but it's like, it's been so hard for me to find a copy, much less acquire one. Same thing was actually happening to a significantly more well-known game, Choo Choo Rocket, for the Dreamcast. I haven't owned that game on Dreamcast since I was a kid, so like 20 years ago now. I finally own a copy again. Found one in a store. Not the original case, but it has the manual and the disc, so everything that I think is important is there. And, so I have that, and I can finally stream that, but I've been looking for it in a store for literal ages, and it only showed up, what was it, 2 months ago when I finally picked it up? And Install, I just haven't seen in a store at all. There's a partial reason for that, actually. When Install was printed, the spine, that shows, you know, like the game logo on there and the big Sega Saturn logo, the Install logo was missing, so it was just a blank spine. Which, of course, really hurt its sales. But also, when you're looking at games all lined up on a rack in a retro game store, because they only have so much room, they are going to be from the side, so if you look at a blank Sega Saturn case, you don't necessarily know what it is. Anyway, I talk about these games to get to Vivid Loop, because Vivid Loop is very inspired by those games that we all love, but some people knew about and not everybody did. It's got a Y2K aesthetic going on, it's very, like, Frogger and Qbert in terms of gameplay, it's very Vib-Ribbon in terms of, the character design. Art style is more like what you'd expect to see on Y2K, style Dreamcast games. It's a nice blend of a whole bunch of things that people are now nostalgic for that at the time didn't really get enough love. Honestly, even I didn't give it enough love back in the day. I didn't have enough of those things. I didn't know they existed. I would have loved them, but they just weren't in my orbit. Some of them were. Choo Choo Rocket was. But a lot of these things I've only appreciated in post, and now there's nostalgia for it, and I love that. For that. I want to see more games like Vivid Loop. Can't wait to tear into that. But I'm doing this as a break from frantically looking for job work stuff. I'm quite exhausted of all of that shenanigans. Why don't we take a break and play a video game? And by take a break, I mean the break is over and we're playing a video game now. Let's begin. Even the loading screen is pretty.